Welcome back to the Sloshed Hog. Instead of making a drink today, I'm just going to display our new koozies that we have at both Hickman's and the Butcher Block. Leave a comment below and we'll choose somebody to give a free one of these away. So today, we are going to be making a Cheshire pork Wellington. What it is a kind of a combination between a Cheshire pork pie, which is an old colonial dish, and a beef Wellington style. And we're going to put them together and throw them on the grill, and hopefully it comes out well. So you're going to want 1 large yellow onion, 2 green apples, or whatever apples are in season, a good amount of butter, salt, pepper, dry sage, stone ground cornmeal, and brown sugar for this time. So we're going to start off with a good amount of butter with a somewhat medium heat pan. You're looking to just get the butter out. You're going to throw all your onions in. And about half your apples. And all you're doing is rendering out a good amount of acid, liquid, and that's why you save half the apples. Apples have a high amount of acid in it, so brighten it up so you get the sweet applesauce flavor, plus you get fresh apple flavor in there as well. Nice low heat because you want to dry this out. The fact of putting anything in a puff pastry, any moisture will ruin your day. So what you're going to do is just low and slow, get as much moisture out before you hit a caramelization, and that'll just help bring up a good amount of flavor. And while you're doing this, you just want to slowly feed it a good amount of butter. And it'll just work down, build up flavors for you. It'll be good. Amount of black pepper to add the savoriness. And then you're going to add some dry rubbed sage as well. Now you add in, after they're all caramelized down, the other half of your apples. This way you get a different flavor and texture component. A little brown sugar, you want to add about a good little fistful of it. Spread it around, let it caramelize. So you're going to add a little stone ground cornmeal. And just a little at a time. You want it to toast off, mix in nice.
What does that do?
That's going to bind it all together, and then by cooking it, it's like cooking out flour, so you get the actual flavor of it without the... So what I have here is a chined 3-rib pork roast that I have butterflied, salted the night before, threw a little black pepper, and then left out in the fridge unopened like that to help dry out the skin so you get a nice hard sear on it. What we're going to do is stuff it with our apple and caramelized onion dip, and then I have some blanched arugula here just to give a color and a good texture difference. Is brush this inside with Dijon mustard. Dijon mustard is going to give you the white wine effect that the pork pie would have. And it's going to give a nice brightness, a little tang to it, increase the flavors for you. There we go. Just a good amount of that going around. And then you put your stuffing in there. Favor the middle of the loin. This way when you go to roll it, it doesn't all squish out on you. Get every little crevice that you can full. And then you want to sprinkle your arugula across. You can do spinach or anything like that. I just wanted something that gives a color contrast, a little bit of texture difference. All it is blanched and then squeezed out to get rid of any moisture. And then all you want to do is start rolling it. And you're going to lose stuffing no matter what you do. There we are. And then what I like to do is stand it up on its ends, because when you go to tie it, it's going to squeeze as much stuffing and the loin to go all sloppy on you. So it might as well have a hard surface for it to lean on. So you're going to sear this guy off until it looks about like that. A nice hard sear on all sides. You want to cool it down fully because you're going to wrap the whole thing in puff pastry, so you need it as cold as possible. If you put it in puff pastry when it's hot, it's just going to melt the butter. You're not going to get any puff whatsoever. I just bought puff pastry. If you want to make it, go for it. Waste your time all you want. I'm not going to do that. You want to roll your puff pastry out thin just so it can fit on this guy. Now, you want to brush the whole thing with a little Dijon mustard. It's going to give it a nice brightness, acidity. Brings out the flavor a little more. And then I have some thinly sliced bacon here that I'm going to just lay this down on the bones, drape over, let it naturally fall onto it. Want to make sure it's wrapped around all the way. Pull off any pieces that might overhang. You can go like that. Like that. Then you take your puff pastry that you trimmed to it. So I'm tucking everything on the bottom where it's going to sit. This way all the pressure is down there. You don't have to worry about it too much. You're going to just form it. And I'm going to put it back in the fridge just so it cools down. If you want to do an egg wash, all it is a beaten egg. And all I'm doing is coating it just so it gets nice gold brown on the outside. It won't be dull, it'll be nice glossy and shiny. Cooled down a little. You take it back out of the fridge. You want to do your egg wash all the way over. And then you want to sprinkle this guy with a little bit of salt on top. And a little bit of just white sugar. This gives you the sweet and savoriness that you're going to get with a pork pie. And now we're off to the grill. Sitting at about 400 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I threw this little pan on there. I like to get it to where the door just closes on it so it gives a little airway. I'm going to put my guy on here closest to the door here. Close it up. And in about 30 minutes I'm going to check on her and see where we're at. So what we're doing is we're cooking this guy to about 140, 145, then you want to pull it, cover it, let it rest for a little bit. At 400 degrees in an oven, it'll take you just under an hour. On a stove or a grill like this, you're looking at an hour, hour and a half, just depending on wind, weather, all that stuff. And there she is. What I'm gonna do is give it a nice little slice. And there it is. Thank you for joining us again on the Sloshed Hog. This was the Cheshire Pork Wellington. Let us know what you want us to do next time. Hopefully we can actually get a chef battle going sometime. Someone challenges to something, that would be fun. And more beer will go